Beats Planet.
Oh God! Wait a minute! Wait a minute! How about now? How about now? How about now? That's much better right there. That's much better. And we back. Listen, y'all. Listen. I was minding my own business, right? Chilling with the homie, said he fresh. I was playing Ghost Recon Wildlands, minding my own business, and my phone started to vibrate. Dun-dun-dun, dun-dun-dun. I'm trying to get Lieutenant Dan on the phone now. He wants to join in. But anyway, I get the update on my phone, the ESPN, the Bleacher Report. Jimmy Garoppolo going to the 49ers. God damn. I need to load up the live stream. Now, at first, I only wanted this to be 15 or so minutes because Monday Night Football is on. But if you're in the group of people that really doesn't care, that's Lieutenant Dan right there. If you're in the group of people, hold on, Dan. If you're in the group of people that really doesn't care about the Broncos versus the Chiefs, we about to talk about Jimmy Garoppolo going to the San Francisco 49ers. It's so many questions that we need answered, man. Like, are they going to start Jimmy right away? Are they going to tank the rest of the season out? There are draft implications. What about Saquon Barkley? Do they get the best tackle in the draft now? What happens with Kirk Cousins? Do the Washington Redskins have to pay Kirk Cousins now? It's a lot of stuff that goes into this, man. How about the balls on the Patriots that got the 40-year-old quarterback and they say, you know what, we got this young, spry 26-year-old that look like he could be the future. We're gonna give him away for a second. I recall the Cleveland Browns giving up some first, but they like, we'll just take the second from San Francisco and we just gonna call it a day. So, man, peep this out. This is what we gonna do, man. The phone lines are wide open. The chat box is lit. We got Lieutenant Dan in the building. He's first. Y'all, the number is 515-739-1285. I'll say it again. 515-739. What is that? What? 515-739-1285. The number is on the screen. The access code 309104. You can jump in whenever you feel like you want to make your presence known. What does this mean for your fantasy team? I'm a San Francisco 49ers fan. Woo-hoo. I'm a Redskins fan. Whatever this means for you, man. I'm a draft fan. Whatever you want to do. Let's talk about it. Dan, what's going on, bro?
What's going on, Voch? How you doing, buddy?
I'm holding it down for the Doski Woski and the Peasky Whiskey. Was minding my own business until this bomb dropped. What's good, man?
This is crazy, dude. This is nuts because I went to do a live stream immediately on Lombardi's Draft Talk. I was like, people have to hear. I don't know if Voch is going to go live or not. And I got a really interesting little tidbit because I heard from Chris Robbins that the Pats are looking at Lamar Jackson.
I'm calling it.
What?
Are you? I'm like, what?
You mean the New England Patriots are looking at rookie Lamar Jackson?
That's correct. That's correct. That's the sources right now are saying that the Pats scouts are looking at Lamar Jackson and shipping out Goroppolo, getting that second round pick might help them secure Lamar.
Holy moly, donut shop. Okay, time out. Time out. Time out. Cause somebody asked me in the comments, Sean Carter. Okay, everybody, this is how you get in touch with the show. Okay, you can either call the number that's on the screen, and we'll get you logged in. I'm gonna get Nick Gassler on the phone. He's gonna be watching for important, huge, like chat box comments. Right? Oh, this is Nick. Hold on, wait. Time out. Nick, what's up, man? Nick, say something, bro. Okay, Nick. Okay, he's just gonna wake up whenever he wake up. But his job is gonna be to keep me tuned in to what the chat box is saying. Also, if you don't want to call in, I got
y'all right now.
Okay, hold on. I got my phone right here. So if you want to send a video to the Snapchat. Send a video to Snapchat, Voch Lombardi, VOCHLOMBARDI, and I'll play your Snapchat through the phone. I don't want to read your Snapchat because, damn it, I could do that on the chat box. I will play your Snapchat audio video through the phone if you don't want to call in. You can also super chat. You want to drop a little donation on the little situation there. You can feel free to do so. Okay, now
unmuted.
Let me hit that unmute button. Let me come over here. Let me mute everybody else. Nick, can you hear me, bro?
Yes, sir. I got you now.
Okay, Nick, your job is to tell me all the important chats that are coming through the chat box. Don't say nothing, Nick. Dan, you say the Pats are looking at Lamar Jackson?
That is what Chris Robbins has reported, and he said that the sources around the NFL are saying that scouts from the New England Patriots are at almost every one of the Louisville games, and they are looking at Lamar Jackson as a possible target to acquire and put behind Tom Brady. And when the time is right, release Lamar Jackson upon the NFL.
What in tarnate? Are they okay? Shit. Nick Gassler, what's your reaction, man? Nick, what's your reaction, man?
I'm sitting here in silence, going, "Oh my gosh, this is the perfect storm that's about to happen." If the Patriots get their goddamn hands on Lamar Jackson, the entire league will be over for the next 20 years or 10 years until he retires.
Holy okay, time out, guys. Time out. Everybody just calm down for a quick second. Let me just calm down so I can figure this thing out for a second. Okay, so the trade deadline is coming up. Okay? That's like tomorrow at like 4 p.m. or something.
For real?
Yeah, something like that.
Damn, it came quick.
So we saw the Marcel Darius trade that went through. And in case y'all didn't know, he went to Jacksonville, who's already stacked on that damn D-line. The Houston Texans, after just getting into the shootout with the Seattle Seahawks, they're going to send Dwayne Brown to Seattle. That's huge. We ain't really talking about that, though. But, man, so expect a lot of stuff to be moving right now. Just a lot of parts to be moving. And not just now, moving forward, expect the Patriots to move up because Lieutenant Dan just dropped the bomb on me. Expect them to kind of leverage that pick. Now, if you San Francisco, what do you do with Jimmy? Dan or Nick, do you start Jimmy right away? Do you tank and go get Saquon? Do you tank and get Connor Williams? Do you just keep playing and just whoever falls to you fall to you? What do you do?
I'll let Nick go ahead and go first, and then I'll go right behind him.
Go ahead, Nick. We're gonna jump in these phones after this, man. Go ahead.
All right. So first off, the thing that I'm doing first, if I'm John Lynch, is I'm making sure that I have the draft capital necessary or the roster capital necessary. If I need to go up and trade the number one or trade up one spot with the Browns to get Saquon, I can do it because I have a quarterback in Jimmy Garoppolo. I may keep him on the bench for like a game just to let him learn the playbook, kind of like what the Vikings did with Sam Bradford last year. Mm-hmm. But right now, I mean, that if you re-sign him, he looks like he's going to be a long-term franchise option. And then with Saquon in the mix,
man,
it'd be amazing.
Man, because I just picked up Jimmy Goroppolo on my fantasy team. I'm in a fantasy team that runs 2 quarterbacks, so I just want to see what happens. Lieutenant Dan, what you got before I jump into these calls?
Well, it's really interesting because if they start Jimmy Garoppolo, there's no guarantee, obviously, that they're going to win games. If they do sit him for a game or two so he can learn the system and then get him sort of acclimated into what Kyle Shanahan wants to do, then, I mean, there's no guarantee that they're going to win games. But at the same time, do you really want to risk not having a super, super high pick by starting Garoppolo and then all of a sudden he starts going guns a-blazing in Shanahan's offense? So if I was the head coach here in Kyle Shanahan, I would be sitting Jimmy Garoppolo and be like, look, it's your team next year.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
But we're going to go get yourself a high caliber running back, and maybe we're going to go ahead and get ourselves another huge defensive stopper, and we're going to build this team basically solely on that particular bit. Meanwhile, on the other side, because you don't know how many more games San Francisco is going to lose, if San Francisco keeps losing, doesn't that second-round pick look real sweet for the Patriots?
Right.
That looks real sweet for the Patriots.
It's going to be at the top. They need to trade up if they want to get Lamar, though. That's all I'm going to say.
Oh, man. Let's hop into the phones real quick. Let's go to...
Before we do that...
What's up?
Can I pose a question out to all y'all?
What's happening?
If Cleveland, if they're not able to make a trade or something, if Cleveland takes Barkley and you're San Francisco at 2, who are you picking?
Man, you got to get...
Come on, Jackson.
Non-intentional grounding. Daniel, talk to me, man. How do you feel about this? What's going on?
Well, man, this scares the shit out of me. Because as soon as I saw this trade, I was like, please don't take Lamar. Please don't take Lamar. I don't want to deal with another 20 years of the Patriots dominating everyone. Please don't take Lamar.
Man, right. Go ahead. Talk to us, man. This is y'all's show. Listen, man, my name is on it, and I'm going to react at some point, but this is y'all's show. I need to hear from y'all. Go ahead, man.
I mean, I've been high on Lamar Jackson, and, man, that's just, God, that prospect. Because, first of all, I don't want him to go to a team that I hate. And I don't like the Patriots. I respect them because they're good, but I don't like them. And also, man, that would be so dangerous. Because then, imagine a Tom Brady that can then, or just a good quarterback on the Patriots that they can then use in running plays.
Wow.
You realize what Bill Belichick can do with that?
Wow.
And what he's already doing with a pocket exclusive quarterback? Man, that's just crap out of me.
So look, if
that
you're
kind of athleticism.
If you're John Lynch, man, I mean, do you just shoot the shot at T.Y. Hilton just to kind of see what you can do, and just kind of build this whole thing up and make it real nasty like that, man? Talk to me, man. What y'all got? What happens with Kirk Cousins right now, man? Y'all talk to me, man.
I mean, I'm eyeing the Steelers or maybe even the Jags for Kirk Cousins, though. Unfortunately, it looks like the Jags may end up keeping Bortles because he hasn't been terrible, so that's been weird.
I got a comment. That's all you got, Dan, before I let you go?
I mean, go ahead with your comment. Like, I'm curious what I might have to respond to it.
Okay, so where the hell were the Jaguars when all this Garoppolo talk was going on? Because I'm sure they would love to have Blake Bortles. Now, I said a couple weeks ago, they would love to have Jimmy Garoppolo. Because if you're the Jags and you're looking at Saxonville and you just add Marcel Darius for a bottle of water and some graham crackers, you know what I'm saying? You still got capital to go get Garoppolo. And you a quarterback away, basically. Fournette's running.
Elias Campbell and them ain't getting any younger.
He's not getting any younger, man. What's stopping the Jacksonville from going to get Garoppolo? Also, since Garoppolo is a 49er now, that opens up a lot of moves for Kirk Cousins. Kirk Cousins to Jacksonville, Kirk Cousins to Pittsburgh, Kirk Cousins to, Buffalo. Nah, Tyrod's playing some pretty good football. Kirk Cousins to the New York Giants. Miami. It's options now, man. This Garoppolo move got a lot of implications tied up to it. One more comment, Dan, before we move on to Tristan and my Snapchats I got.
Before everyone goes to bed tonight, pray that Lamar Jackson does not go to New England.
Amen.
Amen to that.
Hey, man. Thanks for the call, man. Bruh. Okay, so what do y'all think about that? What do y'all think happens with Kirk Cousins moving forward?
Dan,
Oh
you can go
man,
ahead on this
my
one.
thoughts on Kirk Cousins really quick is just like he could head off. Man, this whole trade, I didn't think this was going to happen, so this just throws everything off. I really thought Kirk Cousins was going off to San Francisco, but man, Kurt is in a bad position now. I bet he's probably cussing up a storm wherever he is right now, because I bet he thought he was heading off to San Francisco, and I think San Francisco pulled the gun because they know exactly what they're going after in 2018, and that's where we come in. We need to figure out what the hell the 49ers are thinking right now. They must have some super plan going on. Kirk Cousins is fucked. Yeah. He's fucked. There's nowhere that he's going to land that's going to be good for him.
Man, what happens to Sam Darnold now? And
Sam Darnold's staying in school.
Yeah,
man,
Don't tell me anything about Sam Darnold until 2019.
Nick Gash, don't you be like that. Peep this out, man. I got a Snapchat from Sean Carter. He's one of my faithful Patreon guys, and that's what you do when you're a Patreon guy. You skip the line. You heard me? So he's on Snapchat. Let's hear what he got to say.
If the 49ers have spent a second-round pick in an 0-7 season, they have to sign Jimmy G at the end of the year.
Right, okay.
So, do you think Kirk Cousins will stay in Washington or go to the Jacksonville Jaguars?
Okay, so that's interesting. He says you have to pay Jimmy Garoppolo regardless, without this kind of test run type of deal. Jimmy doesn't have a whole season in San Francisco to figure this thing out. In my opinion, you put the draft capital on him, so you have to play him. Franchise tag is maybe an option, but do you pay that much money for Jimmy Garoppolo? It's only 1 year. And Kirk Cousins to the Jacksonville Jaguars is a possibility. What you guys got? Dan, what you got?
Go ahead, Nick.
Kirk Cousins to the Jaguars is interesting. I don't know if they're going to keep Blake Bortles. I mean, yes, they have been doing well, but that's primarily been Leonard Fournette and the defense. I mean, they won in Indianapolis because they had 10 sacks. It's kind of hard to score some points if the defense is constantly in your face. The thing with Jacksonville is Blake Bortles is hucking up touchdowns to what's his face, Mercedes Lewis. But are you going to rely on your tight end forever to try and get you touchdowns? I like Kirk Cousins in Jacksonville, but there's just so many other options. Will he re-sign with Washington if they decide to buck up and try and pay him good money? Would he go to Pittsburgh because they need a quarterback? Would he go to Minnesota or Miami or any of the other options? We just don't know at this point. And like Dan said, I'm sure Kirk Cousins is cussing up a storm right now. Holy shit.
And we keep on going around in a circle and we don't cut through what actually matters here. What if the Browns were to sign Kirk Cousins?
God damn, what if the Browns sign Kirk Cousins? Dan, that's why you on the show. What if the Browns sign Kirk? First of all, the problem is Kirk Cousins would have to want to go to the Browns. That's a cold little situation right there. That's just a big sandwich you don't want to take a bite out of. Let's jump to the phone, man. We got a platinum caller. Tristan, what's good, man?
Hey, what's good, Voch?
What you got for the show?
I mean, I'm a Patriots fan,
and you also sound just like Nick Gash. But go ahead.
And this trade's kind of scaring me because if I see Brady get hurt at all, I think I might want to lay down and cry because I don't think he's going to get back up if he gets hurt too bad.
Yeah, true. True.
I mean, at least once they traded Brissett, which is fine because they always have two quarterbacks on the roster, and I have faith in Jimmy, but who's the Patriots' backup quarterback?
I have no idea. The thing about it though, as a Patriots fan, just as a football fan, it's rare to see the Patriots not cover their back. You know what I mean? Like they always have a backup plan. Like it's normal that Tom Brady is the only player that New England has really been loyal to. But I always thought that they would let Tom Brady go before they put their franchise in a bad spot. You know what I mean? And I think because we kind of see the Patriots declining as a whole or whatever. You may have 1 to 2 more years with Tom Brady, because remember, Peyton Manning had his best season of all time. Then 1 week he just sucked. That could happen to Tom Brady because he's 40 going on 41 or however old he is. It just doesn't make sense to get rid of the young future, because it's hard to get franchise quarterbacks around here, man. It's just strange. And to Chris Robinson's point, which is also to to Dan's point, you must have a lot of faith in your ability to go get Lamar Jackson if you've let go of your only backup plan. Now, if you get Jimmy Garoppolo as a Patriot or whatever, like, you would have to pay Jimmy and pay Tom. You would have to start Jimmy and sit Tom, or release Tom, or figure that whole thing out, or pay Jimmy to sit on the bench. If you get Lamar Jackson, you get 5 more years to figure this thing out. You know what I mean? So it's a lot of little angles you can take with this, but I didn't think that they would keep the 40-year-old and let go of the young promise.
I didn't think they'd do that either, which is quite surprising. But they always do something unexpected, like trading, how was his name? Jamie Collins for like a 3rd-round pick.
Yeah, Jamie Collins. Yeah, but that's linebacker though. We talking about quarterback. We talking about the one that put the satin on the panties. We talking about the nipple on the titty. We talking about your franchise, fam.
Yeah, I don't know how to feel, because the way I see it, Lamar Jackson is my number 2 quarterback.
Okay.
And especially with like all the teams like Jacksonville, Miami, Cleveland, I guess we can cross San Francisco off that list, that need a quarterback, they're going to have to trade up a lot to go get him. And, you know, trading to the last pick in the 1st round from, like, I don't know, a top 15, top 10, it's a lot.
Yeah.
Man.
But okay. Before I hang the phone up on you, who's your first quarterback so Nick Gashler can cuss you clean out?
Oh, I was already expecting that. Well, it's not Baker Mayfield.
Damn.
It's actually the other Oklahoma quarterback.
Oh, okay.
Mason Rudolph.
Okay.
That dude got the sexiest throwing motion ever. But hey, that's not gay, because I'm talking about his throwing motion.
Well, Tristan, you hold it down for the Doski Woski fam. You and Mason Rudolph. That's okay. That was interesting.
Go watch James Washington and you'll understand Mason Rudolph.
We're not gonna watch James. Jay, the Eagles fan from Arizona, Conrad, Tokyo. What's up, man? What you got for the show?
What's good, Voch? How you doing, bro?
Doski Woski, bro. React.
Bruh, this trade, like the butterfly effects of this trade is going to be crazy.
Talk to him.
Like, you guys are already talking about it. This changes everything for the draft. Like, all right, as a resident of Philly, being from Philly, I'm happy for my man Saquon Barkley, because I think a team will be able to come up and get my man. And unfortunately, if the Browns draft him, that would suck. But hopefully, he can get a good place for him to go, because my Eagles ain't gonna get him. So hopefully, he can go to a good team, not just get But all these quarterbacks are gonna fall. Like Darius guys could fall more. The Bryce Loves of the world could fall. This draft is gonna be very interesting. And Kirk Cousins, I don't know what he's gonna do. Hopefully, he stays in Washington, so my Eagles can beat up on Kirk Cousins forever. But this trade changes everything. It's gonna be crazy to see what happens to the Patriots if they say, you know what, Tom Brady's old, let's go move up. And then you guys are talking about it, it's scary if they can move up and go get Lamar Jackson. Or even if, let's say, in the back half of that 1st round, they get the Mason Rudolph or Luke Falk or somebody, and they still dominate for the next couple of years. It's going to be scary to think about what the Patriots can do with that pick. So it just changes everything. And then I'm a believer in Kyle Shanahan. I like what he can. I think I'm gonna like and be a fan of what he can do with Jimmy Garoppolo. Then let's say even if he doesn't work out, the 49ers could still take a quarterback. So I like the trade for them. It's just gonna change everything if they do end up liking him, because what do they do at 2 if no one wants to come and give up the access to go get Saquon Barkley at 2 or something like that? You know what I mean? It's gonna be interesting what they do.
It kind of puts the Patriots in between a rock and a hard place, man. But one thing we know about the Patriots is if they have draft capital, they will move up and down their board, and they will keep the guys that they have, and I think they will sell some draft stock to go get whoever they want. And it takes some confidence and some balls to get rid of Jimmy Garoppolo, to go gamble, to go roll the dice, so to speak. So it's interesting. Jay, you got 20 more seconds before I move on, bro. What you got? Is it?
I'm gonna say that another thing is for Sam Darnold, like he better stay in school because the chance of being drafted by the Browns and your career being like over, like I would stay in school if I was him. But yeah, it's just gonna change the draft. It's gonna change everything. It's gonna be crazy and fun to watch too.
All right, man. Salute Conrad Tokyo, man. You gonna rap battle at some point, man. You better get ready for them to kill you.
I got you.
Take it easy, fam. Dan, Lieutenant Dan, I see you mingling in the chat box. You say you have one. What do you have, fam?
I've got something that nobody in the chat has talked about yet. I got something that none of us draft experts have talked about yet. I didn't even hear really any talk about this in the offseason either or in our 2017 draft about, the possibility of Kirk Cousins going to particular teams. Mm-hmm. Why wouldn't Kirk Cousins go to Arizona?
I just wrote down Arizona because we're talking about Jay, the Eagles fan from Arizona, and it made me think. Carson Palmer just laid down and went, ouch, and Drew Stanton has got to play for an extended amount of time. If you don't have faith in Carson Palmer, damn it, you can go get Kirk Cousins and be good.
Yeah, that's kind of scary because if they can go into the 2018 draft and kind of stock it up a little bit and put some things around him, St. Brown maybe as a wide receiving option, and then maybe some offensive line help there, and then stack the rest of the picks on defense and put Kirk Cousins behind the line. I think that team could be amazing. I think that team could be really good.
I tell you what, man, the goal for every team is to walk into the draft with your quarterback situation figured out already. And that might be why this Garoppolo thing happened so early. You know what I mean? Just to kind of get established and, get the ball rolling a little bit. So I expect Kirk Cousins to be dealt before the draft happens. So when you walk into the draft, you don't even have Sam Darnold, Josh Rosen and Lamar Jackson on your board. You walking in and go, okay, what do these tackles look like? Let's look at one of these defensive ends. What about that kid from Florida State? You have different options now.
I think it puts everything into a little more perspective now that this Goroppolo trade has gone down, that Kirk Cousins is fucked unless he heads off to Arizona or Jacksonville, both teams that have defenses that can work for you if you have a capable quarterback and running option. Mm-hmm. And at the same time, there's all the other teams. I mean, you could talk about Pittsburgh possibly, but I've heard so much back and forth from Pittsburgh fans about, Ben has 3 more years left, or, he's leaving tomorrow. Man, right. This is so wide open now. I didn't think this was going to happen. I really did not think this was going to happen.
You want to know that'll really confuse the hell out of everybody? Like, what if Indy went to go get Kirk Cousins because something is terribly wrong with Andrew Luck? What if that happens? Oh man,
it sounds like something's terribly wrong with Andrew Luck.
It does.
I was about to say Marshall Faulk, but I mean, he's saying that he has this weird pain in his shoulder, like Markelle Fultz for the 76ers.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's going to be the best option going forward for the Colts.
We're going to jump into the phones. After that, I'm going to put some polls on the Facebook and the Twitter machine and have a little conversation about where we think Kirk Cousins is going to go. Jake from State Farm, what's good, bro?
What's good, man?
Holding down for the Doski Woski. React for me, Doc.
Yeah, so one thing I wanted to talk about was this whole Lamar Jackson talk with the Pats and everything. What if this is just a giant smokescreen? We know we're all talking about the Pats, what they're going to go after now is a quarterback. What if they're not really thinking about quarterback and they end up are stockpiling all of these picks so they can move up the draft? Who knows? What if they go after Barkley? What if that's what they're doing? What if they're, from what I know as a Bears fan, Ryan Pace did a really good job in making sure that no one knew who he was going after. But he made it seem like he was going after Deshaun Watson. That's what I was thinking before the draft, everything out of his words, how much he visited him. Usually these guys keep a secret, but they're keeping it so open with Lamar Jackson. It makes me believe that this is just all a giant smokescreen. I think, I was wondering, what about the possibility of Barkley going to the Pats?
That's interesting, but the problem is that Tom Brady is 40. Go ahead, Nick or Dan.
But you still got your 4th round picks and 5th round pick. They still got their third. I think they still got a 3rd, 4th. They're known for taking these mid-round, project quarterbacks. They can also just sign up a backup. If they think that Tom Brady, still has it, they could always just, get a guy like later in the draft that they like, third, fourth round if they still have those picks. But, there is a potential. Like, they have addressed the running back, issue. Truly, yeah, like they signed, some guys here and there, like, Burkhead and Gissel and all those guys. But no one's a real true franchise running back that they've had. And there is like a possible. I just think that Lamar Jackson might not even be the quarterback. This could be like Josh Rosen or Baker Mayfield. Like, we don't like. It just seems that how obvious they're making makes me believe that this isn't going to be Lamar Jackson. This is just a giant smokescreen.
Fam, Tom Brady is 40. Go ahead, Nick.
I'm gonna tell you this also. If as a general manager or Bill Belichick, would you send most of your scouting department just to watch one quarterback because you're trying to smoke screen somebody so you guys can go after Barkley or another quarterback? Would you really, as a general manager who wants the most information on a prospect or prospects in the draft as possible, would you send most of your scouting team just to watch one player that you may not even draft?
Yeah. Well, it just all depends. The Bears signed Mike Glennon to a very hefty contract, and that threw off a lot of people. And, I think that played a huge factor into the whole Trubisky in the draft, like them drafting Trubisky. They, sometimes GMs will go out of their way and make things super, super obvious. Like, we were doing the same thing with Deshaun Watson. We kept sending scouts to, most of his games. We would hardly go to any Trubisky games. There was like one or two here and there that we would go to, but, I just think that you're right that, there could be some merit behind it with how often that they go to all of his games. This is my first time hearing that, they go to all the games. I never even heard of that before. If that's true, it could be the case, but, it goes to show that, that could be a huge smokescreen. You never know.
Here, let me jump in real quick because I want to get on your thing too. With the Bears and them going after a quarterback, we all knew that was going to be the case because when they signed Glenn to that contract, they signed it for a 2-year contract, but that second year of the contract, as I pointed out earlier this season, was if they get rid of him, they walk away clean. You can go check that out on Sporadic or Sport Tac or whatever it's called. That they literally walk away clean without any harm whatsoever. It's literally a team-friendly contract as far as a QB. They were going to walk away with a quarterback and then test that quarterback back out for the first year. And if he wasn't ready, then they put Glennon back in. The thing is now Trubisky's actually looking okay, at least in my opinion. And so now they can walk away next year paying literally nothing to the quarterback that they played, air quotes that you can't see, big bucks. So I'm with you that this could be a huge smokescreen, but it's just kind of weird that a lot of people are saying that the scouts are out there constantly looking at Lamar Jackson. Yes, I could see them jumping in to the top of the first round and go grab yourself a Saquon Barkley. But who's to say that the Browns don't grab him at pick 1? And then here you are at pick wherever the 49ers are left after this season. Here you are at the second round pick for the 49ers, which the Pats have. Can you package your Pats second round pick, first round pick, and the 49ers pick to really go grab anything up there? Or do you allow Lamar Jackson to fall and not really have to trade anything really to go up and go get him? Maybe your 2 second-round picks and you keep your first, or your first-round pick, and now you have a second or 2 seconds or something like that. So it's just the dynamic changes now that the Browns could possibly just sit pat at the first-round pick. Again, we don't even know if Goroppolo is going to start, because if Goroppolo starts, maybe they win a couple of games. But I bet if they sit Goroppolo, allow things to happen, the Niners do, and they have the second or first round pick, they're set. They can go grab Saquon. They'll have Goroppolo, and the rest of their picks can go on defense, and they're fine. They're set. So there's still some games to be played, but right now the Saquon talk about going to the Pats is probably a bunch of malarkey, because that it's like a pipe dream. It's a wet dream, because he's going number 1 or number 2. This kid is going number 1 or number 2. This kid's probably competing for the Heisman right now. So I don't know about the Pats super smoke screen to go get this big star running back coming out of college, but I could definitely see them going after a Lamar or a Derwin James or someone along those lines, that they would feel that they would trade Goroppolo out and go get the second-round pick. I wonder why a second-rounder. I wonder why not like a third and a fourth and a fifth, or a sixth and a seventh and a third, or that's not a Patriots MO to only take one pick if they valued somebody so much. It's kind of weird.
True. Especially when the Browns have offered first round picks to go get Jimmy Garoppolo. First and second round picks to go get Garoppolo. So it is strange. Why would you pick the 49ers pick, right? Also, I just added one more team to Kirk Cousins watch. What about the Denver Broncos, man? What about them?
No.
Yeah, I was about to say as well. Yeah.
Before we ever need Kirk Cousins.
Hey, man, don't act like Trevor Siemian is the one. Don't do that, Nick Gashler. Don't do that.
I mean, I'm not acting like Trevor Siemian is the one. I'm saying let's get a right tackle and see how Trevor Siemian performs first, and then make a decision based on that.
You have faith in Trevor Siemian, Nick Gashler?
I don't have faith in Trevor Siemian. I have faith in, if we get a right tackle, he may be able to perform correct.
You got faith in Kirk Cousins, though, don't you? Don't you?
He's an above-average quarterback, but he'd probably be a mediocre to below-average quarterback if we don't get a right tackle.
So is Trevor Siemian. All right, Jake from State Farm. Appreciate you, man. Thanks for calling, bro.
Thanks, Jake.
Oh, man. Listen, y'all can call into the show. Great dialogue, by the way. Y'all can call into the show. 515-739-1285. Access code 309104. You can send them Snapchats. I will play the audio over the telephone. You can come in and chop it up with me and Nick and Lieutenant Dan. Cool ass Drake, call into the show, man. You sitting up there in the chat box like you ain't platinum or something like that. Call into the show, man. You ain't doing nothing. Whew, fellas. Go ahead, Nick. Go ahead, man. Go ahead.
I'm going to go with a hot take on, or not so much a hot take on Lamar, but Lamar, to me, he's a good passer. I watched his Florida State game. It was okay. He overthrew a lot of 20-plus yard passes, but obviously the mobility is a huge plus. But I feel like once Florida State kind of began to key in on where Lamar Jackson is going, they stopped him really quickly. And that's one of my only concerns with Lamar Jackson at this point. Is he too base if the NFL defense can stop him really quick? And I'm sure if he goes to New England, that'll all change because Bill Belichick is there. But that's just my quick take on Lamar Jackson right now.
I feel like the Patriots can fix anybody. Cool ass Drake, what's up, man? What you got for the show?
What's up, guys? Cold ass Voch Lombardi.
Holding it down, man. React for me, man.
I think it's kind of I just think it's funny now that the Pats are showing interest. Everyone's like, oh man, if they get Lamar Jackson, then that'll be crazy. But if any team gets Lamar Jackson, it'll be crazy because Lamar's just crazy, man.
Okay, here we go. Cool ass Drake. What about Garoppolo to the Niners, man? What you think about that?
Who's he gonna throw to? Pierre Garcon? George Kittle?
T.Y. Hill?
maybe if they go get T.Y. But yeah, I mean,
that's fair. That's fair. Who is Jimmy Garoppolo gonna throw the football to? That's a fair assessment. Go ahead, keep going.
But yeah, man. I mean, I feel like the Patriots are gonna try to trade the house to get Lamar and figure out the rest afterwards. Because like they could piece together the Patriots. They could manage free agency and the rest of their draft picks, and they got Lamar Jackson. They'll make it work. But I think if the Browns end up with the number 1 pick, it would be very foolish of them to accept the house from the Patriots and pass up on an opportunity to finally save their franchise with Lamar Jackson. Mm-hmm. That's just what I think about it.
That's interesting. Dan, would you like to reflect on that?
I've kind of slowly but surely become more Lamar friendly, because I see a lot of Deshaun Watson and Lamar Jackson. And let's not compare those two as if they're on the same level. Lamar, I feel, has a much better arm than Deshaun. I think the accuracy is actually the other way, where there's problems with Lamar's accuracy versus, Watson's accuracy. But I truly see NFL type throws and plays and thought process with Lamar. I think any team that he goes to, he will make them better.
Clemson fan. Did you see
I really thought that.
Against Clemson?
What now?
I know you're a Clemson fan. Did you see those touchdown passes Lamar threw against Clemson? They were crazy. Those were very pro throws.
And this is why I'm on board with this, because I think that, and maybe I'm being a homer here, but I think that the coverage that Clemson was able to put on Lamar, and Lamar still able to put these on the money, is like that's NFL ready. He'll need some NFL coaching, obviously, but I think that Lamar Jackson is the best quarterback in this class. Now, I've got lots of tape to still watch, and I've got a lot of other quarterbacks still to watch. But if I'm just watching the live games and I'm watching, comparing people, flipping channels back and forth, I see NFL caliber quarterback in Lamar Jackson. Now, can he lead the Browns to victory? Not with that offensive line, not with those weapons that they have right now, and not with them still rebuilding. Like I said on the last show that Voch was with me on my channel, Unintentional Grounding, it's a dartboard right now with the Browns, and they need to hit on all kinds of spots. You can't sell out on one particular set right now. So their defense needs work. Their offense needs work. Lamar is not the answer at this very particular point. I don't think you should pass on him, but maybe not the particular answer you need. I would go after Barkley, number one. I'm just saying. Saquon with the Browns, and you make that tough and ready to go, maybe. That's just my opinion. I think Lamar anywhere right now, and it'd be pretty scary if he was on the Cards or if he was on the Patriots. There's plenty of teams.
Damn it!
That would be scary.
Do the Patriots go get Kirk Cousins? What?
No.
Okay. Well,
I don't think so. I don't think that should be.
Well.
I mean, he's going to sit behind Tom Brady for the next 2 years or 1 year, however long Tom Brady plays.
Fair enough.
Nick has a point. I don't think Kirk would be about that.
Yeah, let me just chill
Kirk
out.
wouldn't do that.
I got excited. The Baltimore Ravens, y'all sick of Joe Flacco. What about the Ravens, damn it?
For Kirk Cousins?
No, neither. Oh, okay. Well, I got excited.
Flacco on his best day versus Cousins on his best day. I'd still take Flacco. Even though I'm really not a Flacco supporter, but I know the difference between silver and gold. Okay.
Oh man, go ahead, Nick.
Matt just commented. Chris just said the Lamar thing was fake news.
Chris just said the Lamar thing was fake news. Oh, okay. Well, it was fun.
It was fun.
It was fun.
But still,
that doesn't mean it can't happen. What does that do?
Who are the 49ers? Who are the 49ers going to draft if they don't get their hands on Saquon Barkley? That's still the big story, in my opinion.
Yeah, man, we don't really know.
That's where Saquon seems like maybe a good fit. Because I think if they get Goroppolo in there, he could maybe win them 3 games, maybe. And,
they'd have to sit him and lose the rest of their games, because the Browns are going to lose the rest of their games.
The Browns got to get Lamar Jackson, and they got to go get 6'4" Sidney Cobbs Jr. pair with Njoku and Coleman and Deuce Johnson and that offensive line they just bought, and Lamar can save the franchise.
Yeah, fair enough. Yeah. Appreciate it, cool ass Drake.
I'll catch you later. I was cool ass Voch, Lieutenant Dan and Nick Gasler.
Yes, sir.
Later.
Peace out.
Oh
quick,
man,
Voch,
what's up? Hold on, what time? Hold that thought. Hold that thought. I'm about to run this Patreon ad, okay? Because it's very important, and we're gonna run the Twitter, the Facebook, the T-shirts, because I do sell T-shirt. Y'all hang tight. We're gonna be right back. Hold up. What up, Team Lombardi? Before we get into the content, I just want to let you know the best way to support the channel directly is through Patreon. Subscribing to my Patreon for as little as $1 a month can upgrade the production of the channel and increase the frequency of uploads. For less than a bag of almond M&Ms, you can contribute to my YouTube scouting career being my full-time job, which means more content for you. Also, Patreon contributors will gain exclusive access to all my throwback film sessions covering college football tape on players like Sean Taylor, Calvin Johnson, Michael Vick, Luke Kuechly, guys like that. But the link is in the description. It's patreon.com/Voch Lombardi. See y'all there. Appreciate it. All right. We back like broad straps. Real fast. Dan, plug your stuff, man, before we move on to the next set of talking points.
You can always hit me up at Unintentional Grounding on YouTube or UNGR_show on Twitter. We talk about football for the Atlanta Falcons as well as some wrestling stuff, WWE, New Japan Wrestling, and just talk about some life stuff on the regular days of the week. We put out film sessions on all the Falcons stuff, so come check us out, man.
And Nick Gashler, go ahead and give yourself a plug too, sir.
GDAofficial.com, that'll be my website, and my channel, GDA Official, is just my channel. I put out college film. Make sure to check in every Friday. I may bring back the Monday film sessions, but I'm not for sure where it's at right now. So make sure to check it out every Friday for a new college film session.
The young phenom, Nick Gashler. We're going to bring him up slowly. All right, what point were you going to make before I cut you off rudely, but it's cool because it's my show?
Well, I don't want to leave the party early, but I need to eat dinner very soon, and I don't know how much longer my mom's going to be able to stand me up here before that. So I'm going to head out.
It's okay, young Nick. I understand, man. I got a wife.
What in tarnation? well, Nick.
It's an awkward goodbye, but
well, sorry for holding you those extra 2 minutes. I thought you had something.
No problem. No problem.
All right, then, cool, man. Take it easy, Nick Gashler. That's Nick at GDA Official. He doesn't want to get in trouble with mom, so he okay. But we still here with Lieutenant Dan, man. Listen, don't forget.
What's going on, guys?
Y'all can send the Snapchats through. Voch Lombardi, VOCHLOMBARDI, if you want to speak your comment into existence, if you're a 49ers fan. Also, you can call in 515-739-1285, access code 309104. If you want to call in, you want to say something in the super chat, you can drop a little change in there. It'll be much appreciated. Let me run through the chat box real fast, man. Let me scroll up. Dan, you got something before I do that?
Yeah, actually, do you mind if I plug something really quick for my channel?
Go ahead, bro.
Yeah, we are 28 subs from 1,000. So we're trying to help the Voch Lombardi film crew with kind of pumping up our channels. If you guys wouldn't mind heading over to my channel and just hit the sub button and the notification button, man, because once we pass that 1,000 threshold, a lot of stuff opens up for YouTube, especially with their analytics right now, kind of really killing YouTubers. I know Voch kind of jumped on it at the right time to kind of get up to his 10,000 or so, and he's been doing it for quite a bit. But the newer analytics for YouTube is really killing some peeps. So help a brother out and get to 1,000 subs. I'm at 972, I think, right now. So we're 28 subs away. And also, by the way, our Patreon, Unintentional Grounding on Patreon, we have a secret Illuminati member saying that if every dollar that is supported to the channel, our secret Illuminati member is going to put $2 on top of that. So we're trying to get a new soundboard and some lighting. So if you don't mind heading over to the Patreon, throw a buck down. You won't even miss it, I promise. And our secret Illuminati at the end of the month here is going to throw down all that extra cash for the Patreon. So I would deeply appreciate that if you guys would go check that out. Thank you guys.
Buy one get one free. I hate how Buffalo Wild Wings are advertising this Boneless Tuesday like we really want that shit, right? Like we want traditional Tuesday like it's been. We don't want that boneless shit, man. That's what Thursday's for. Whatever. Whatever. They try to bring Calvin Johnson out of retirement too, man. You saw that?
Yeah, I saw that. I mean, just what are we supposed to do with these retirement things? It's like I kind of got done with bringing people back from retirement type stuff when we started talking about Brett Favre all those years ago. So I don't. Whenever somebody says they're going to come out of retirement or somebody's trying to dig them out of retirement, I'm just like, just leave those people alone, man. They got probably CTE things going on. Just leave them alone, man.
Yeah, they're basically trying to do that Marshawn Lynch in Oakland thing. Whatever, they're Las Vegas, whatever, Oakland, whatever. Jimmy Antoinette said, "Vice, speak on Kirk Cousins to the Pittsburgh Steelers if Ben retires." If Ben decides to retire his fat ass, it's a possibility, man. We've been noticing that Ben's heart may not be all the way into it, man. Do I even have it anymore, guys? Remember in the Space Jam when the basketball players got their powers taken by the Monstars and they didn't know if they could do it anymore.
I'm gonna rewatch that video now. I'm gonna rewatch that movie. That was a great movie.
As Ben Roethlisberger. Do the Jags have the cap space for Kirk Cousins? Yes, they do, because they're not paying a quarterback. They got a lot of money right now. I saw notifications and Patriots trade Jimmy Garoppolo too. I'm like, please be the Cardinals, and it wasn't. I'm sorry, first name, last name. It was not to the Cardinals. I wouldn't pay Kirk Cousins the money he wants. He wants the biggest contract of all time. That's cool as Drake. To be fair, you gotta play franchise quarterback roulette with these guys sometimes, man. Because if you don't have a franchise quarterback, you end up in purgatory. So you got to do what you got to do to get your guy. You know what I mean? So let me just finish going through these comments. Kirk's shouting right now. You like that? You like that? He better not. So yeah, that's pretty much
more
all
like he's shouting. I don't like that.
I don't like that. I don't like that.
I don't like that.
But to be fair though, that's what you get when you try to prolong the process, man. If you're Kirk Cousins, you should have been gotten this deal done. Okay, yup. All sides should have gotten this deal done. Now Jimmy Garoppolo goes to the place you wanted to go, and now you got a decision to make. Kirk Cousins. Now, granted, you have options, and he's probably not going to stay in Washington. But I mean, it's an option. But he's probably not gonna stay in Washington. But Garoppolo is going to the place he wanted to go. So
this reminds me of like a wrestling analogy of the guy that wins the championship, and he finally gets it for the first time, and the dude with the money in the bank comes running down and starts a new match, kicks him right in the teeth, and takes the championship from him. This is that. This is Kirk Cousins thought he had it made by the end of the season. He'd be cruising to San Francisco. And San Francisco was like, hell nah, super kick to the head, and just boom, took Jimmy Garoppolo, and they were gone.
True. Anyway, man, I'm looking through the chat boxes or whatever. I think that's about all we got for tonight. I think we got a pretty good reaction there. We 56 minutes in, felt like 5 minutes. I mean, I didn't even know we went this long. But Dan, you probably gonna go live on your channel too, just to have it on your on your page or whatever.
I might do a comfy stream. Anything anybody wants to go talk about, I'll do a comfy stream for a minute.
That sounds interesting. I'm gonna come through and talk about side chicks and threesomes. With that being said,
yeah, dude, come on.
With that being said, I'm Voch Lombardi on Twitter, VOCHLOMBARDI. Speed Strength Ass Whoop shirts. They're being sold at spreadshirt.com. Dot shop Lombardi. All right, so come through, check that out, and don't forget about the Patreon, man. The Patreon keeps this thing going, man. Thank y'all for coming through. We had a large turnout. I think the second largest turnout since the NFL draft, and that was a huge live show we did there. So Appreciate y'all for coming through. I'm probably gonna mingle in this chat box for a little bit longer, just to kind of holler at y'all, say what's up to the people, just show my face and all that. And I'm gonna pull up in illegal live stream to watch this game because that's my way to get back at the man. You know what I mean? I'm Voch Lombardi, man. Y'all have a good one, bro. Salute.